You know how many places I've gone to hunt with people, just pleasure hunt, or the few cats I've been on, and one of the comments that I see is, "What, a Plott? I never seen one of them treating a coon, or I've never hunted with one." And then they hunt with a dog, and they like the dog, and it brings attention to the breed a little. But there's this is another thing. The breeding pool for the competitions on the plots, yeah, it's there, but it's not that big.
All right, today on the podcast, I'm going to be joined by a guy that's doing his very best to improve the competition stock style of dog in the Plott breed. So if you're a Plott enthusiast, or you like Plott dogs like me, and you're looking for that special something in a Plott dog that can go out and win and compete against all these other breeds that are out there, you might want to stay tuned, listen to this today. I think this guy's really trying hard to help the breed out and push people in the right direction. He's not trying to come across as he knows it all, by no means, but he is doing his part to try and improve the breed. If you listen to our Gamble Ranch series that we've done with Aaron Gamble, you're going to probably hear some similarities from today and with that podcast. So stay tuned. You're going to want to hear this. We're going to be joined by none other than Mr. Raul Cabjera today, and we're going to talk about his Plott dogs, a hunt that he's trying to put together, and how he thinks that maybe we, as Plott enthusiasts or people that just like Plott dogs, can help improve the breed on a competition level. So stay tuned as we get underway. This is your host, Jason Snellgrove, and I will be your guide as we journey down the road to pleasure hunt or hitting the long trail to those great comp hunts. This is the Coonhound Collective podcast. All right, today on the Coonhound Collective podcast, we are joined by Raul Cabjera. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir. Raul Cabjera.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
there you go. Well, let's start off with, I kind of know a little bit about you. I've been following you on Facebook, and you actually done another podcast. I listened to that podcast, and you reached out to me. I mean, you've been kind of messaging back and forth, but where I want to start is tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Well, I've said it before, but I will say it again. I'm originally from Cuba. That's an island in the middle of the Caribbean, the biggest island or so. I was born and raised there up to the age of 16. And then at 16 years old, my dad did all the paperwork and whatnot, and he brought me to the States. He done come in 1994. I was 11 months old, and my daddy just had to leave the country because the living situation wasn't the best. It still isn't the best. So we seek for better life. That's what we do when we leave our country. Of course, we would like to be there, but it is what it is. The system is bad, and it's bad. So I lived in Miami for about 11 years. I'm 31 years old. In 2020, we decided to just leave the city and live in the country. And then we looked for properties in Georgia. And we found this one. And here we have been since 2020.
Okay. So did you get to messing with some type of dogs while you were in Cuba, or did that happen after you moved here?
Yes, I did. I wanted to be, so I've always been fascinated by animals. I wanted to be a veterinarian, and that's what I was going to do over there. Of course, when I came to the States, I started high school on 9th grade. I didn't know any English whatsoever, and that kind of shocked me, and I didn't follow that dream. But down there, my first experience with working dogs was with cattle dogs, cow dogs. And I learned some about them. I was about 11, 10 years old when that started. And what really caught my eye was a brindle dog they had there. And his name in Spanish was Brindle. Man, It was cow crazy. And then after that, I got a Rottweiler, and my mom was friends with a lady, and her husband was retired from canine training over there and all that. So she hooked me up with a man, and then he taught me about obedience training and all that. So yeah, I had some experience with dogs before, working dogs, and I started working with hounds when I was living in Miami. Back in 2018 is when I started fooling around with hounds.
Okay, so your first experience was with some type of hound was after you come to the States.
Yes, first experience was with cattle dogs, and then the police obedience training, and then here in the States it was hounds, beagles.
Okay, so was you rabbit hunting those beagles, or you just have them as pets, or?
Okay, so it started as pets. That's how it started. I just had moved with Jasmine, just my wife. We had moved in together, and we felt that we had something that was gonna last a lifetime, if it makes any sense. So we decided to have a dog. A dog is a commitment. So we decided to get one, and then we looked for breeds. We liked the beagles, so we got a female as a pet, and then I got a male because she needed company. We would play with her, but it's not the same as having another dog. And then we bought a male, and then I bought one from Russia, and those are my three original dogs. And I bred the Russian female, and I stud out my male to a police officer down there, and I helped him sell his pups, and he never called my eye. But he had a room, Miguel. Miguel had a room full of deers, all kind of mounted deer, big bucks. He never called my eye until one man came to buy a puppy, and then they started talking about the deers, and it just caught my eye. It caught my attention. The hunting deal caught my eye, and then they started me as a deer hunter, and then I'm watching all kind of hunting shows. I'm watching the Meat Eater, and then I see Kevin Murphy. I see Kevin Murphy with his dogs, and I'm like, wait, what? I have those dogs here. What can they do? So then I start trying with them, and here we are.
Yeah. So in Cuba, is there
Hmm.
any type of hunting with dogs, or is that kind of suppressed by the government, or is there anything like that over there?
It is suppressed by the government. I got friends who have been doing it their whole lives, but it's basically poaching. Now, the government agents or whoever who works with or for the government, they are allowed to hunt and have firearms, which the regular people cannot have any kind of firearms, not even a BB gun.
Oh wow. Well,
Yeah.
my I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. Of course, that didn't help me. I can't speak Spanish, but my Spanish teacher actually escaped to Cuba in the '70s, come across on a raft actually.
Hmm.
And so when I kind of heard your story, and y'all went through the process to come over or whatever, I was kind of curious about kind of from 0 to 16 years old, the stuff that you've seen, and especially the hunting side of it. I didn't know if that was allowed or if that would be considered poaching over there.
It is. It is poaching, and I tell you what, I there's a lot of people who join the government at an early age. They start working with kids, and they start brainwashing them. They're scouting for those kids in school. But so there's a lot of people who work for the government, and then I had a friend in school, and his dad was a higher up, and he used to duck hunt. Duck hunt. He had a 12 gauge double barrel, 12 gauge. Man, what a pretty thing, man. Just looking at it, I'm like, wow. So my friend, he had a BB gun. So his dad will take us, and then he will go into the lakes and stuff, and then he will send us in the woods, and then we'll rotate around and kill doves and lizards, whatever we see, we kill. So yeah, I had some experience with that, but it's only the people who work for the government, and then some people run dogs there, but it's poaching.
So what are they? What are they running? What are they using the dogs to run? Is it hogs or is it some other type of animal or what?
Hogs and deers. Hogs and deers. And this
Okay.
hogs is just being domesticated hogs that eventually make their way out and then they become feral. So that's the hog we have.
Okay. 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 I wanted to get a little backstory there because I thought that might be a little bit interesting, not only to me but to some other listeners as well. So you're in Miami. I guess are you living in a house or an apartment with these dogs or?
600 square feet apartment. 600 square feet apartment.
Oh, okay. So you're tied in there with these dogs and you and your wife.
Yes. So yeah, we have one room. We have the living room. We have a small kitchen. And then in our room, we have a walk-in closet and a bathroom. But yes, it was a lot of work because they'll learn to use the pee pee pads and not pee all over your house or poop. But it's better if you walk them. You know, you don't have to clean up after them. So I would walk them 4 times a day, 5 times a day. I had a very flexible job. I had my own, I was a personal trainer. I got a master's on personal training and some certificates on nutrition and all that back in 2016. And then I had my own business and I worked probably 2 miles from the house. That's where I had the gym. So it was pretty flexible. I was able to go back and forth to the house.
Yeah. Well, I kind of I heard from the other podcast that you live in an apartment, and I'm saying that so later on when we get to talking about this hunt, I want people to understand that you're not just talking; you've actually put in the work. Because it, I mean, I live out in the country, and I have a little brindle feist that I keep in the house, and I let her out. It's still some type of work to make sure that dog's getting what it needs to go in and out. In the wintertime, it's work to make sure my hounds are took care of up there in the dog barn. But living in an apartment and walking these dogs and taking care of these dogs, it's a whole different style of work than just living out in the country and letting your dogs run loose or, just letting them outside. And I want people to kind of understand you put in the work there and you're trying to put in the work now as you move forward here. So you have the Beagle dogs. When did you really get the hunting stuff with them, whether it be rabbits or deer or whatever?
They were trying to hunt deers. I wanted to hunt rabbits. They wanted to run deers. Um, Trashy at first. My God. So it started on 2018, somewhere around 2018, I believe. That's when these folks brought my attention to the deers, and it didn't take long for me to start with the beagles. And I used to take them. So what we have in Florida is swamps. We all know that. It's swamps and gators and nastiness. So I would have to drive the shortest drive. It was an hour and 30 minutes to any of this public lands. I totally forgot the name of it. But it's an Indian reservation. So I used to go there, and there you could not run dogs in there. Regardless, it was pretty bad. So I found another one. It was located, it's called Dinner Island. And if you stay in Florida, some people are going to hate me for this, but if you stay in Florida and you run rabbit dogs, go to Dinner Island, WMA, and stay on those fields and those patches of woods. And if you squirrel hunt, that's a nice place to squirrel hunt. But then I started going over there, and it was exactly 100 miles, right on the dot. So it would take me 2 hours to get there, and of course, we all know 2 hours back. And I used to go every day, Monday through Friday after work. Sometimes I'll stay over there and just camp out.
Yeah, you were definitely putting the time in. So you're messing with these beagles. You're trying to get them to run rabbits, and they're wanting to run deer. Um, how did you get? I guess is this the transition period when you were kind of looking for something and you end up moving to Georgia, or how did you get from there to Georgia?
Okay, so I started running the Beagles. I started liking the outdoors more because, like I said at first, I had experiences in the outdoors and the country with the cattle dogs. It's actually my stepdad. He inherited a farm from his dad, and then they had some cows. So I'll spend the whole summer over there. Um, I had some experience with that, but never with Beagles and never with hounds. So it was a lot of trial and error. Um, a lot of I didn't know what I was doing, but eventually they just broke themselves. I started just driving around looking for rabbits and just putting them on hot tracks. To be honest, I didn't have anybody who taught me this. As far as the Beagle dogs, I learned on my own. The dogs taught me what I know today and what I want and what I don't want today.
Got you. So you learn by experience, just going out there doing it and trying to get them focused on the game that
Yes,
you want them to run.
yes, no kind of mentorship whatsoever, other than watching some YouTube videos. But usually, for the most part, these videos don't contain a whole lot of information that you want, um, that you need. Some crucial stuff that people won't tell you, or you know what I'm saying. It's just somebody recording the dogs and all that. Not a whole lot of training or how to. There's a few, but it's stuff that you will only learn on the field.
Right. Right.
It's like reading a book until you go into the field. It's a whole different ball game, if it makes any sense.
Yeah. No, I got you. So 2020, you find a place, and I guess you move. Do you move from Miami up to Georgia in 2020?
Yes, sir. We moved from Miami to Georgia. So we lived in the apartment. We bought a piece of land that it was raw. It was raw. It's not a address, water, electrical, nothing. Just straight up pines. And we bought this property. I left everything behind. I spent every penny that I have saved on this property and a camper. So I bought a camper, moved up here. I left my wife in Florida for 7, 8 months with her mother. And then I'll tell you what, I lived for 7 months with no power, just running out of a generator. And at some point it broke down and I was broke. But yeah, in 2020, I did that transition and I have been just working on this property ever since.
Yeah. So you were definitely willing to put in the work to sacrifice to have something that could be yours and like what you wanted.
Yes, yes, most definitely. I mean, I transfer all the energy I was using for other things to get this done,
Yeah.
which were good things, you know. It's just I was doing bodybuilding and my business, so all that energy I just brought her over here. I'm
So
tired now.
yeah, I bet so. I bet so. So when you get moved up there, I'm assuming you take your beagles with you.
Yes, sir, I did.
So at what period did these bigger hounds come into the picture? Was it coon hunting, bear hunting? Was it deer hunting with bigger dogs? How did you transition over to some of these bigger dogs?
Okay, they were in the picture since the beginning when I lived in Miami. When I started running the Beagles, at some point, I think I said this on the other podcast, but I was watching shows like Life Below Zero, Mountain Man, um, Live in the Yukon, all this kind of shows, you know, and some of the shows are some acting and whatnot and set up, but some stuff is real. Most of these people do leave it. So I was watching and observing that some of them used some dogs to feed themselves and the family and all that. So it come to mind that if I had a few dogs that I could catch me game with, not rabbits, of course. A rabbit is just going to feed so many dogs, even so many people. So I was thinking about getting me a pack of dogs where I could run hogs with and ultimately feed the hounds. And thanks thank God everything has worked out. Where up to today, I'm feeding these dogs out of what they catch usually. Sometimes we spend a few weeks with no meat, but it is what it is. I'll feed kibble if I don't have.
Right.
But I wanted the hounds since the apartment.
Okay. So, when did you go on your like first coon hunt? Was you in Miami or after you moved to Georgia?
It'd be crazy. Here in Georgia.
Okay.
And I went by myself with a bear dog. She was a bear dog. She was no coon dog.
And you just thought, hey, I've heard other guys do it, or I've seen it on YouTube or something. I'm gonna give it a try with that dog, or
No,
how,
no.
how,
This is how it went. So Papa Longshore, Robert Longshore, I call him Papa because he told me to call him Papa. So Robert Longshore, Papa, I bought my first hound from him, a puppy, a little bitty puppy. And then him and I had a relationship. We grew up into a relationship. And at some point, he told me that he was going to, don't get me wrong. He started her as a coon dog. Okay. He started her. But at some point in her life, he sold her to a bear hunter. And for 6 years of her life, all she did was bear hunt. So he told me that, but she will treat you some coons. She'll treat some coons. He said, take her with you, take Maybelle, and she will teach that puppy how to get it done, if it makes any sense. And then he just gave me the dog, and I started taking her. And I tell you, it was a learning curve for her and for me.
yeah, I bet so.
Oh, Lord. You know how many nights I walked with that dog? Because this is something, she wasn't trusting me at all. And she was not confident. I believe that to train or run these dogs, you have to understand their psychology, a dog psychology. So I was seeing what she was doing, and I evaluated the situation, and I said, she's not confident. She's always been hunting in a pack. She looks up to me. She would go 100 yards and come to me like, come on, come with. So I'll walk a little more, and then she'll go a little more. But she wouldn't trust me all the way until she started feeling more comfortable with me, and then she started going casting by herself, decently. 300, 400, 500 yards, half a mile sometimes, by herself. Now you put her with another dog, it's another story. She's gone. She was gone.
Yeah. So you got, I guess so we're talking about Plott dogs. That's the dogs that you have is Plott dogs, and we're going to get into more of that here in a minute. So, but your base that you started with come from Mr. Robert Longshore.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, as you get those dogs and you start coon hunting, when did you find out about competition coon hunts and your very first competition coon hunt?
So, I started as a pleasure thing and just coon hunt with a dog and then teach my puppy and whatnot. But then, like I've said, I haven't said it, but I might have said it somewhere else. But I listen to a lot of podcasts. Actually, how I found about the Plott dogs, it was with Chris Powell. And Chris Powell, when he started the Houndsman XP and Steve Fielder, they used to talk a lot about Plott, so that's how I found out about them. And then Josh had a segment out there, The Truth. And boy, he hurt me a lot of times. It's the truth, man. It hurts. It hurts, but you got to wrap it up and keep on rolling.
Yep.
So Josh, I started hearing about it and learning about it with Josh, and eventually I started getting more attracted to the competitions. I'm competitive myself. I've always been into sports. So I said, well, there's a competitive side to it. So I think I want to try that out. And that's how it come about the hunts.
When did you go to your first competition hunt?
I believe maybe 2 years ago, 1 year and a half ago.
How How did that go for you? How was the cast? Was it one? I guess just a local hunt there close to you.
Yeah, it was. It was a. That's when I met Brett Denny. If you know Brett Denny.
Yeah, we've had Brett on the
Uh,
podcast.
yeah. So that's where I met Brett Denny. It was a local hunt. I mean, he stays 1 hour and 20 minutes from my house. So I took a male dog, and I'm telling you, this thing operates everything I want out of a coon dog. If it makes any sense, that's what that dog did for me. So I'm watching him, I'm seeing him, I'm listening to the podcast and listening to what you need to win. It's basically coons, hold pressure, um, get out there, tree all kind of coons if you can. He can tree any kind of coons. So I'm like, well, I think I have a dog. So I took him to that hunt, and man, he did not wanted to hunt with them dogs. He was 9 years old by the time. He had never been in that situation before. So he did not want to hunt with them dogs. And I died by the 15 in 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you.
I'm a good sport. I'm a good sport, man. I can take loss.
Hey, I have said many times you have to be a good loser to be a great winner. So
That's
if I ever get to the winning part, I'll probably be a really good winner. But so right now, I just hang in there. I like the camaraderie. I like the competition, and I win a few here and there. But when I lose a few, it's okay too.
yeah. I mean, they're dogs at the end, man.
That's it. So
They're not a machine.
so your first hunt didn't quite go as planned. So
No.
did you did you find you another dog? Did you have a dog that you raised up that you started messing with that you could maybe start taking to some hunts?
Yes.
How did that go?
That one puppy that I bought from Raul Longshore, she's the one that I took after. I believe she was 18 months old, and she was doing really really good by herself here at the house. I mean, completely by herself. Since she was my first pup, it was a learning curve. I would say that I almost ruined the dog. I almost did. Thank God she has a little heart to just come out of that, but I almost ruined the dog. So that's her, and I took her again where Brett's place, and she got 100 strike. I'm confident about it. She gets all the way to the tree and just shuts up, doesn't bark. She's at the tree, and then another female comes in there, locks the tree. My dog's still there, and I know she's there because the judge asked the handler, "How far is your dog?" And he said 140 yards. And it's right in front of us, and my dog is 140 yards, and she was running the track. So that was that. We got in there. She started treeing, got her out of there, recut her. She was hunting, and then that was my first cast. I withdrew within 15 minutes before the hunt ended. I mean, I was not going to win it. She wasn't ready, and I told Brett that Brett was kept on me like, come on, come on. I'm like, she's not ready. She's not ready. So that's it. And then I took her to an UKC cast. Come to find out, she don't want to be with dogs. That's the deal. She just needed some tune-up. So I went to a UKC cast because when I go to Brett's, I'm usually hunting $100 hunts, entry fee hunts. So I'm trying to measure with kind of the best out there, the better dogs. I'm not saying that a dog that goes to a $30 hunt it's lesser than a dog that goes to $100 hunts. But if it makes any sense,
Yeah,
if you
no,
put $100, you're confident on that dog.
for sure.
So I took her to a UKC cast. She did way better. This time she stayed by herself. She ended up split treed at the end of the hunt. When we were walking to the tree, I handled the dog, and then the judges scratched me for handling the dog, which is fine. I was not going to win anyway. And then on the third cast is when she's really kicked it up a notch. I talked to a few people after the first and second, and they told me she just needs to be adjusted to hunt with strange dogs. So in the fourth one, she He drove a track, started the track. This English female goes in there, strikes with her. My dog goes in and trees. She's treed. I don't tree her yet, so I'm not 100% sure she's gonna move on or just stay at that tree. She'll check. She'll check, and if it keeps on rolling, she's gonna keep on rolling. So you gotta give her a minute. But she treed, that English female treed with her, and she rolled out of there. She just rolled out of there. We walked, we scored that English dog. There comes a walker. He gets minus, and she had the coon. You see, she started, so she didn't want to share the tree for some reason. She kept on moving. We score that tree. We get out of there. He puts a 6 on my dog. She strikes again. 6 broke. She's still running. Another track now. Them dogs make a circle tree close to where my dog is. 100 yards maybe. We go, bang, squall, shake binds. My dog does not come to the tree, so I'm observing my dog more than anything. I don't care if I win or lose. I'm trying to tune this dog up. And then she moved on and ended up treeing by herself somewhere else. And it was maybe 10 minutes before the hunt was over. So I was the third cast she was on. That was a circle tree right there. And after that, I started hunting her with a friend of mine and a couple more people with strange dogs trying to tune her up. And then she just started splitting tree 30, 40 yards from another dog with a coon too. I mean, doing crazy stuff, climbing trees. I mean, she changed. She really did. And one night she climbed up to about 30 feet up on a tree. And I really thought I was going to lose that dog. And after that day, I decided that I was going to breed her and get something out of her before I lose her. Because what really calls my eye about her is the natural independence. I have not encouraged her to be independent, and she's just independent. And she's lost a few calves, the ones she's been on, because she doesn't want to treat with other dogs, which is not a bad thing. It's just a matter of having her out there, I believe, maybe, hopefully. But I bred her.
So what did you whenever you decided, okay, I need to breed this dog. I like some of the traits she's got, but I need to. What was the things that you were looking for, and what made you decide on whatever stud it was that you chose to go with?
Okay, so one thing is consistency. The dog is pretty consistent on a nightly basis. Every night you know what to expect out of the dog. And when you put her in different situations, you know what to expect out of her on that situation. Consistency, mouth. She has a decent mouth. I mean, she could be heard over a mile in good conditions. Half a mile, no problem. That's something important if I want to compete. That independence too. And the brains being smart. That's something. So I went ahead and I've been listening and reading and documenting myself. I like to document myself as much as I can, and that's how you can learn. And the line breeding deal, it seems to be the best way to go for now, just for now. So I bred her to her granddaddy, which is the dog that really finished me up as a coon hunter, if it makes any sense. So that's what I did. I bred grandfather, granddaughter, and I have 9 of those on the ground. They're about 10 weeks old.
Okay. So, and you have, that's not the only dog you have, right? You have another Plott dog or 2 Plott dogs?
My God, Jason, I have a bunch.
Oh, well, the ones I know about is, I think one of them's named Smoke and one of them's named Bear, maybe?
Yeah, that's Smoke. That's a female. And then I have Bear. So the male dog, I bred him The first female that I got, the one that was a bear dog, all right, she will tree coons. She will tree coons, but she's not a coon treer. She's not like Smoke, more coon-minded. She wants more of that big game. If you put Maybelle, that's her name, that's the first one I started with. If you put Maybelle on hogs or bears, you fixing to see a different dog. That's her game. And sometimes you got to just let them choose. It's just they're better at this than that. You got to be able to see that. She's well bred. She's Chad Moses breeding, which goes back to Bill's dogs. And actually, in her paperwork, there's some longshore dogs in there. She matches one dog with the male dog that I have here, Sniper Duke. Yeah, they said he was a real deer bear dog, Sniper Duke. So that's double right there. So I said I'm going to breed her to him. The paperwork matches. She trees coons, but she's a better big game dog. I want to hunt big game. He is definitely coon-minded, the male. So I bred them, and what I said is I was going to pick and choose what might fit the criteria for competitions. And whatever doesn't fit that criteria, I was going to call them, just soft call them, and move them into the hogs and bears. I'm not a bear hunter. I have partners that are bear hunters. I hunt bears when I can. I'm hoping to be one. But yeah, so I did that, and then she gave me 6 puppies, of which I kept 5. I only sold 1. And this is crazy. So a lot of people wanted one to buy one, but I was, trying to find what I need. And, you have 6, 7, 8 pups, whatever. You sell 5 and you keep 3. Maybe you sold the one that was going to fit you on those 5. Even though you didn't see things that he had, that it would have made it the dog that you wanted him to be, or she, it would have been that dog later on in life. As they mature, they change. So I bred them together. I kept 5. I sold 1. The man just asked me for a pup. I priced him at $1,000 for an 8-week-old pup. That's what I priced him, so he wouldn't come and buy him. And next thing you know, he showed up with the money. So I had to stick to my word.
Yeah, well, I understand where you're coming from. I have a male dog here and I have a couple females. When they come in, I'm going to be breeding. But I'm breeding like you. I'm not breeding really to be selling puppies. I'm breeding because I'm looking for something that I can go out and competition hunt. I'm working on building a puppy pen now, so I have a place, to keep these pups and kind of let them get older and pick what I think will work, and what won't work, I'll move somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. But the plots that I have here out of her, I got one. His name is Miami Heat. I called him. He doesn't have the mouth that I would like him to have, but it's not that bad. You can still hear him at 6, 7, 800 yards, but it's not the mouth that I would like to have. But I was gonna call him for big game, and I started him with Smoke so he would start going, And next thing you know, man, he decided otherwise. He just hold on, sir, I'm a coon dog. I don't want to be a hog dog. So I mean, she really showed up, and then he's one of my coon dogs. I'm partners with him. I got I would say a team. A group of guys working with me at the moment. They believed in what I'm trying to do here. So he's partners with my partner in North Carolina. He has to go over there next month or so. I got a bear, black bear. Bear, it took him a little while to get going, but when he got going, then he also showed me that he might be something I like. We got to keep on working on him. I got Bear. I got Michael. Named Michael because of his dad. Dad names his Mike. I got Michael. I like him too. I believe he has a lot of traits that Smoke has. because what I'm seeing on when he goes out there, I'm seeing the same dog that Smoke was, kind of. I'm seeing some of the same traits. So I got a lot of faith on Michael. He's the one that is a little behind on as far as treeing the way I want him to tree, but he's a trailing type. The other two are more tree minded. They will trail, but they're more tree minded. He's a trailing type. He wants to check and check and check and check until he's got it. And then I have the one that I sold for 1,000. I have him. I bought him back maybe 4 months ago because the man said he didn't have the mouth that he wanted. And I understand he wanted some kind of ball mouth, choo-choo train, and he doesn't have that mouth. He actually has more like a cur dog mouth. He actually looks like a cur dog in a way. His face is different from all the others. So I hunt him on hogs, and then I got 2 more pups out of the same male. I got about 9 Plotts that I own, at least adults, and then I got 9 little bitty pups.
Yeah.
Over there.
So you were talking about a team of guys, and for what you're trying to do inside a breed, especially instead of trying to do it, I guess for lack of better words, instead of trying to do it over 30, 40, 50 years, you're trying to weed out, put dogs in the field where they do better at, whether it be big game or coons or whatever. But through that team of guys, you're able to place dogs with guys that will take them and give them a chance and put them in the woods and hunt them and see, to be able to fast track what you're trying to build there rather than wait 30, 40 years to see it come to fruition.
Yeah, I mean, by yourself is hard. And I'll tell you what, the breed, one thing that I love about the breed is they're very versatile. Versatile? How do you say versatile?
Yeah, that's it.
They can do a lot.
Yep.
Okay, so they can hunt pretty much anything you want them to hunt, but I have found and seen that some dogs are going to choose. They're not going to choose, but it's genetically they're more inclined to be better at this than this. So that's what we're doing. We are trying to find the coon-minded dogs that are naturally coon-minded, and then the other ones, we're going to use them in big game and then weed out what we don't want and keep what we want and what we like and what gives results, and from there, keep on moving forward, keep on breeding. But yes, I'm working with 3 fellers.
Yeah. So you're working with these Plott dogs, and if anybody's listening to this podcast, they know that I have a special place for Plott dogs. That's kind of what got me back into coon hunting. I met Mr. Wesley Good from West Virginia when I lived in Illinois for a little while working a job, and he come into a campground with a dog box, and of course that's automatic conversation starter. And he coon hunted Plott dogs, and I started a young male dog for him that went on to win the breed race. It's probably been 3 or 4 years ago in PKC, and so I have a special place for Plott dogs. I really like the looks of them. Like I said, I have a Brennel Feist here, and I really like the way she looks, and it's because I relate it back to those Plott dogs. But you're down there, and I know what Brett Denny hunts. Why Plott dogs? Why not a Walker dog?
I'm a committed man, and I believe that they can do it. It's a hard thing to do. If you can have consistency, like I've said, know what the dog is going to give every time and do it every time the same way, or at least 95% of the time, 90% of the time. And I have seen what I have here. I have seen them shine many nights on a row. I'm a believer, and I'm a committed man, if it makes any sense. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I told him if I would have chosen the Walker breed, I would probably be somewhere else now. As far as coon hunting and competitions and all that, but it's just I believe in the breed most than anything, and I like the looks, and that's that. I mean, I believe in the breed, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's just weeding out.
So, and I don't want to get into the Walker dog being dominant thing and all that. I mean, that's obvious. Everybody already knows that. But
Yep.
with the Plott breed, what is your goal? What is your goal for your dogs? What is the goal for you and going forward in competition hunting? Are you just looking to win a few little local hunts here and there, or are you looking to do something on a bigger elite level?
Man, I dream big. Go big or go home, you know. My goal really is the truck. That is it. Either make it to the final four or win it. I'm not worried about the world hunt nor PKC, UKC or AKC. Breed race, the breed race is something I'm interested in too. Pro classics, pro sport, those kind of hunts. And I know I'm shooting here for the stars with a Plott because you know that the dogs that go there, pretty dominant dogs, you know, they win on a pretty consistent basis. But that's the goal. Big hunts, just bigger hunts, higher level.
Well, I'll tell you this, Raul. Just talking with you and like I said, I follow you on Facebook, seeing you out there. You have the determination. I believe that we will see you in a Final Four picture of a truck hunt or a big pro classic or somewhere, because I just talking with you, I know you got the determination to do it. You're not going to stop until it happens, and my hat's off to you for that, because you could have went a much easier route with more support, I'm sure. If people's listened to the podcast, we've done a couple episodes with Aaron Gamble, and we kind of talked about it, and it was more related to the blue ticks, because that's what he hunts, about what it's going to take to put a different dog in the winner circle. And it's going to take people like you that are determined, this is what I'm going to do, and they're going to go out and they're going to push and they're going to tweak and they're going to adjust and they're going to keep moving forward until they get that winner.
I believe, man, that in life in general, to achieve anything that you want to achieve, you have to be relentless. It's just relentless and hard-headed at times. Chris Powell said it, that he has some brain damage for hunting Plotts. I wouldn't say I have some brain damage, but I'm pretty stubborn. So, yeah, I'm determined to do so. Hopefully God helps me. It's not in my hands at this point. It's up to the dogs. We do everything we can. I take them out every night. Being honest about yourself, it's key. Being honest about the dogs, recognizing the holes. All of them have holes. We all know that. But I believe that it's doable, and all it takes is just believing and having a vision. It might happen. It might never happen. But we will try our best.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, and I think you're on the right track. You have to be honest with yourself about yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself about your dog. And if you can't do that, you're never going to be successful at any type of level. And another reason I know you're on the right track, and I said I would only keep you an hour, so I wanted to move into this and talk about it with you some, but your determination, you're so determined that you have put together a all-Plott money hunt in Shellman, Georgia on December the 27th. How many entries do you have left in it?
Well, it's going to sound horrible, and it's sad. It's actually sad. I got 3 of my dogs in the hunt. I mean, I haven't paid the entry, but it's me. I'm going to pay it. The money's there. So we have 3. And then we have Justin Stokes with Earl. He's for sure going to do it. And a couple of maybes. That's all we got. So I don't believe, I'm being realistic here. I don't believe that is going to happen. We are not going to be able to fill out 16 dogs, even though there's plenty of people who compete with Plotts. It's either UKC, Pleasure Hunt, or PKC. There's plenty to fill this up and have a few left out. But for some reason, I haven't seen the support from the Plott community. I have seen way much more support from big game hunters, hog hunters. Actually, there's a feller that he hog hunts. He's in Florida with Cur Dogs, and he told me he will give me $250 for one entry. So this could happen. So that's what's going on right now. That I'm doing as much as I can. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but so far there's no interest in this hunt, and I'll be realistic, it might not happen.
Well, I know you don't want to beat a dead horse, but I don't mind beating on one a little bit, so I'm going to. This is a $250 entry fee hunt. First place pays $2,000 back, second $1,000, third $750, fourth $250. So if you end up fourth, you're going to get your entry fee money back. I know for a fact there is 16 Plott dogs out there that coon hunt. And the sad part of it is Raul's got 3 of his dogs put in here. So he's putting up $750 of his money to make this hunt a go. When this podcast airs, your messenger should be blowing up with Plott guys wanting an entry for this. If I had a Plott dog in my kennel right now, I'd have an entry to this hunt. This is what each breed, not just the Plott breed, but for each breed to move forward. We don't live in the 80s anymore, in the 90s anymore. This is a different style dog. This is a different style hunting. This is the fur market, quote unquote, of today. Furs are not worth anything anymore. You said money ruined the sport. Well, people hunted for furs. That was money back in the day. This is just a different style of it. To help this breed move forward, this hunt, make it a go, put 16 good Plott dogs in this thing, and all eyes will be on it. That's what I get so aggravated, and I don't understand. People like you come together and try to put these things together, and everybody sits back and talks, well, back in so-and-so day, or if we had so-and-so. Well, we're not there anymore. We've had to move forward. The breed has had to evolve over time, whether it be the Plott breed or the blue ticks or the English or even the Walker dogs, as far as that goes. This hunt could help propel the breed. These 16 dogs would be showcased in an all-Plott hunt. That's meaningful. $250 entry fee at a chance to win $2,000. And Raul's putting up $750. Come on, guys. Y'all, there is 16 dogs out there that I know that competition hunt that could go to this hunt. This hunt's in Shellman, Georgia on December 27th. So Christmas is going to be over. You're going to be on vacation still between the Christmas holidays in January. A lot of people take vacation then. Take your Plott dog down there, get a hold of Raul, and get you an entry to this hunt. Raul, I don't know if you got anything to add, but it just frustrates me that this hunt's not already full.
Yeah, it is frustrating. And just what you said, and Mr. Gamble said, winners attract people, and sometimes you got to do different things that might not have been done before, and look at things on a different way. Times have changed. You just said it. I get a lot of, you want to hunt PKC, you're money hungry. No, I'm not money hungry, because if I was money hungry, I wouldn't be running dogs. I would have 2 or 3 businesses running and making money, but I'm not money hungry. That's a reason why I left my business and came out here. So no, money hasn't ruined the sport. As a matter of fact, it brings people to the sport. It might be not the Now, the right reason for some people, I mean, it's true. Some people are going to come in for the money and they're going to quit it because it's not what they expected. You got to love the dogs, but the winners attract the people, and the money that just what you said, the money that you used to get for the hides is what we hunt for now. We try to at least break even. At least try to break even. It's hard, but you know,
Well,
that's what I think.
you know, I think Aaron said it best. Mediocrity is unacceptable, and the problem
Mediocrity is not tolerated. Yes.
it for years, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty of not being honest with myself, not being honest about my dog, saying, well, I got a dog that can go out there and do this and do that, and in reality, I really don't. And we've put up with mediocrity. Well, these guys, and people can say what they want to, and if Brett was here, he'd be rolling his eyes and gagging right now. But these Walker dog guys has said, the ones that compete at an elite level that are winning all the time, they said enough's enough, and they went out and they've looked for, recruited, looked at, hunted with, and found what suits them and what wins in these hunts, and that's what they go after, and that's the only thing that they will accept. I mean, you see Dual Murphy, Dustin Weed, Brett Denny, some of these guys, week after week, month after month, year after year, you see those names in the winner circle. These guys have figured it out. Well, if they figured it out, somebody with the determination that Raul has in the Plott breed, he can figure it out, and he's trying with this all-Plott money hunt. This is a great opportunity to showcase your dog. Matter of fact, this might make somebody upset, but I'm going to say it because it's my podcast. I can say what I want to. So, Steve Fielder, Mark Miller has one of the hottest named Plott dogs going right now, Fever.
Yes, sir.
I challenge them, when this airs, get a hold of Raul, get you an entry, take that dog down there. That'd be a good place to showcase that dog against other Plott dogs.
Yes, sir.
There's other dogs out there that's just like that dog. There's a lot of guys got good Plott dogs. Guys, get an entry to this hunt. Give your dog the opportunity to be showcased. Just being in this hunt, there's going to be 16 dogs that are showcased. Don't let Raul have three entries. I don't let him. He might want them, but try to talk him out of them. At least two of them.
I'll be honest with you. Two of those dogs that I want to put in the hunt, they have no chance.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to lose that money.
Yeah. So you're donating $500 basically.
I am, and I have a guy donating some money. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, Mark Miller was tagged on the post with where I posted the hunt, and it's sad to see it. To be honest with you, that the better dogs out there are not reaching out to bring light to the breed. It's not about Raul. It's not about the money. It's about bringing eyes to the breed. We need more people. We have people pushing them in the hunts, but we need more people. We need young people. So I feel that that's a way to bring light. I tell you what, I had some people message me and ask me if we're going to do it next year because they have a puppy. They will come next year when they have a puppy, but they're not ready. But I have found more support from hog hunters, bear hunters, and just regular folks that don't even coon hunt than from the Plott community. And it's sad, but it is what it is. People are people. There will always be people. I don't know if it's because Raul is hosting the hunt and he hasn't been doing it for so long. Whatever reason it is, you gotta grow over that and bring that dog over here. We are just trying to. We have 4 non-hunting judges, by the way. We have non-hunting judges. If the final 4 want to split their money, they can split their money, and each one of them gets $750 to go home. Let's say you spend $150 on gas and so much on the hotel. At least you take $300 home if you pass your first cast. We have non-hunting judges, PKC rules, 2 hours. No leash lock, so we're not gonna lock your dog. And we're just trying to have a good time and bring light to the breed. I talked to Josh Michaelis. He said he might be able to get us some feed on a lower price, which I'm going to buy myself to give at least a bag of food to each one of the participants. I'm trying to get some coon lights. I'm trying to do more stuff, but yeah, we're just trying to have a good time. Just bring the dogs and we'll have a very good time at Brett Denny's place.
Well, and I hear, and like the black and tan guys, that's what I grew up hunting was black and tans, and they have the UKC days, and they all get together, and you hear and English dogs, and we have these English sectionals and English days. Well, you have these English sectionals, and I think Aaron said it best. You have these English sectionals or these blue tick sectionals or Plott sectionals, and they go out there and it's the only Plott dog that shows up, or it's the only English dog that shows up, or it's there's only 2 or 3 that show up, and you beat 2 or 3 dogs. This
You
is
want
your opportunity to show up with 16 other Plott dogs. Make it like a Plott reunion. Those guys like to get together and hang out. Go down, hang out with them, and make it like a reunion. But these dogs will be spotlighted in the Plott breed.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy because, and let me tell you something. I first tried it. I've been talking about this hunt for 7 months now. Just slowly letting people know that we want to do it and we're trying to whatever. Well, I made it for the second month of the year, next year. Well, there's a lot of people message me that they compete and they got dogs in the PKC race and whatnot. Oh well, Winter Classic is coming and I can't do the 2 trips and this and that. Okay, move it around. Um, Move it around now to the 27th. Now, oh, what a time! The holidays. Oh, there's this plot. There's a specific individual that said too. That said, oh, but we have a Plott sectional around that date, and it's going to be 3 dogs show up there. You're not going to be promoting the breed because the only people who will care about it is the people who are in the breed, and you cannot sell the breed to the people who already have it. You got to sell the breed to the people who don't have it. And
100%. 100%.
but anyhow,
That's what me and Aaron talked about. He talked about with the blue ticks. He said, you don't have to sell him on having a blue tick. He is going to hunt a blue tick. We have to sell the person that is getting into the sport, into the blue tick. The Plott guys have to sell the person. Why would that person choose a Plott over a Walker? Why would that person choose a Plott over an English or a blue tick? That's what you're doing. You put 16 dogs in there and showcase these 16 dogs. Trust me, when I seen it, my ears and my eyes perked up because I thought, okay, this is a breed that I do have some connection with. I love to look at a good Plott dog treeing on a tree, and I've hunted with some good ones. I know
you
what.
know how many you know how many places I've gone to hunt with people, just pleasure hunt or the few cats I've been on, and one of the comments that I see is, "What a Plott! I never seen one of them treating a coon, or I've never hunted with one." And then they hunt with a dog, and they like the dog, and it brings attention to the breed a little. But there's the breed. This is another thing. The breeding pool for the competitions on the plots, yeah, it's there, but it's not that big. So this hunt, what we'll do if we can do it yearly, it's look at dogs and you know what I'm saying. If we can't put more competition dogs and bring new people to the breed who are going to compete with them, our breeding pool for competition is going to get smaller. And I know there's a lot of controversy with people hunting the plots and the hunts because they're big game dogs. Well, guess what? They can do it too. Um, so
Yeah, I know it's frustrating, Raul, but just stick with it. Hey, whether you make this go or not, just keep your determination. Don't get beat down. You're headed in the right direction. And again, I mean, I don't know if Steve Fielder Mark Miller listening to this, but hey, y'all have one of the hottest young Plott dogs going right now. Y'all should be in this
That's
hunt.
what that's
Bill
what I hear.
Rakin, you got Plott dogs. You should be in this hunt. Joe Pride, you got Plott dogs. You should be in this hunt. I know it's a long way for you two boys, but this would be a good opportunity for you all to go down and showcase your dogs that you have.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. I've told Bill, man, come on. I've been messaging Bill. I have his phone. I know Bill. I've told him, come on. Just come on, support the breed. And I'll tell you what, Jason. We are going out of our way. Brett Denny is going out of his way, hosting this at his house, having 4 non-hunting judges. I'm going out of my way, calling people, trying to get prices for this hunt. Can I get a whole lot of prices and free stuff? I don't know. I'm trying. We're going out of our way here to do this. So if it doesn't happen this time, we cannot fill it up. We can do with 10 dogs. We can do with 10 dogs, and the money, the price will have to change, of course. But I mean, it's just.
Well, hopefully, like I said, hopefully this will air, and I'm really hoping. I want to see you fill the hunt up. I mean, I really do. I'd be interested to see the 16 dogs that show up. Take some pictures of all of them. My hat would be off to every person that has an entry there. To me, if you have an entry in this hunt and you hunting a Plott dog, it says I have confidence in my dog and what it can do. So my hope is this will air. You'll start getting some phone calls and get closer to that line of being able to fill it up. And maybe there's some guys that are, kind of have already heard about it and are on the fence, whether they want to do it or not. Guys, take a chance. If you got a dog that you think can win, this is a good opportunity. This is a good spot to put them in, to showcase your dog, show what it can do, and you're doing it for the breed. People say, well, how's this helping the breed? Well, it's going to put eyes. It's going to put eyes from. I mean, you got Brett Denny already in helping you. Brett hunts for a man that has the means to be able to help promote a different breed than just a walker breed, and not that he don't already. I see his name on some other breeds of dogs. So this would be a good opportunity to showcase your dog and what it can do, and maybe help promote the breed on a competition side. Now, if you don't care about competition hunting, none of this applies to you. But if you care about competition hunting and the Plott breed and moving it forward, moving that needle further, this applies to you. Get a hold of Raul and let's get this thing filled up. Raul, I don't know if you got anything else to add. I've already kept you longer than I said I would, and I apologize for that. But I really wanted to talk about this because, again, there's Mr. Wesley Good. My wife might not think him, but I think him. He got me back into coon hunting, and it was with Plott dogs. And whenever you sent me this flyer, I immediately thought, boy, if I had a Plott dog, I could be in Georgia in December to showcase my dog, which I don't at the time. But hopefully somebody will listen to this and they'll get a hold of you and get an entry.
Yeah, we hope so. And if it doesn't happen this year, I'm not going to try it again. I'm done with this kind of stuff. I'm just going to do myself and just trying to better the dogs for myself. Because be honest, man, I'm trying to have better dogs myself. They please me every night, but I know we can find better dogs. But we'll try. We'll try our best. Tomorrow I'm doing a post on Facebook and trying to keep on rolling with this.
Yep.
We have faith it fills out, and we can do it every year. That's the thing. But we'll see about that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, don't quit. Whatever you're doing, keep your determination. I love to hear your determination. It inspires me to want to do more, want to reevaluate what I'm hunting and be honest with myself and my dog. So keep your determination, keep on pushing, and you will succeed one day.
Thank you, Jason.
Well,
we'll try.
if you don't have anything else, buddy, we'll shut her down right here. I appreciate you being on the podcast today, and we'll get this thing edited and get it out here within the next week or so, and hopefully we'll get your hunt filled up.
In the name of the Lord, Jason. We hope so.
Yep. Well, Raul, I appreciate it. You have a good evening, and I will talk to you later.
Talk to you later, Jason. God bless you, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Coonhound Collective podcast today. We really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to listen to the podcast. If you don't mind, head over to Facebook and give us a like, and head over to Instagram and give us a follow. It's both at the Coonhound Collective. Also, if you would like to reach us here at the Coonhound Collective, you can reach us at thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. If there's someone that you would like to hear on the podcast or a product that you would like to hear talked about, please send it to thecoonhoundcollective@gmail.com. Thanks again. Have a great day.